Look, this the Black Holocaust. I knew it was prophecy. 1,000 times worse than the Jewish atrocities. Uneven playing field, there'll never be a fair score. Cause in 1619, that's when they declared war. We the 12 tribes, the ones that the promise reaching.
What's going on, brother? You see yourself on that sign right there?
I asked him his nationality according to the Bible. He said he was a Gentile.
He's a Gentile for real?
I don't know.
He said he was a Gentile.
What's a Gentile? I ain't no Jew. I know not a Jew.
Really?
Really?
So if I can prove, I can prove to you. How did your ancestors come to this land right here?
Like my ancestors? On a ship?
On ships, right? So if I can prove to you that there was a prophecy that the children of Israel were put on ships, right? Sent on ships in slavery and chains. I can prove that to you, and you're going to understand that you're an Israelite. Give me Deuteronomy 28.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
Start 15.
Verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
So do you understand the story with Moses, right, and the Israelites, how he freed them out the land of, at the land of Egypt, right?
Right.
So then he took them to a mount called Mount Sinai, and,
right.
and he got presented these laws, right?
Right.
So
Sermon on the Mount, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So from verse 1, he's saying, if you keep these laws, all these blessings are going to come upon you, right?
Right.
Now go to 15.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
He said, if you will not hearken, if you will not keep these laws, read.
To observe to do all his commandments.
To observe and do all these laws, statutes, and commandments, read.
And his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Go to 16.
Verse 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field.
So he's saying, well, whoever these people are today, he said, if you're breaking these laws, cursed shall you be in the city, and cursed shall you be in the field. That means wherever you're at, wherever living situation, being in the inner city or out in the country, you're going to be under these curses.
Right.
But it's saying you're going to be cursed in the field. That's very interesting, because our ancestors, right, were in the fields also, right? Our black brothers, while they were on the plantations, the natives of this land, right, which are the...
I was on a plantation too, so I'm 73, man. I know.
Exactly. Now, so go, now keep reading.
Verse 68, or do you want...
Keep reading. Go to, give me 28 and 29.
Verse 28 and verse 29. The Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart. And thou shalt grope at noonday, as the blind gropeth in darkness.
So that madness right there, if you look in the Hebrew, it's just saying craziness, right?
Right.
That's mental health, right? If you look at statistics today, who is the highest of mental health? Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans.
That's right.
Keep reading.
And thou shalt not prosper in thy ways, and thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore.
So you're saying that these people, whoever they are, will not prosper in their ways, right? And they will be oppressed evermore. Who's the most oppressed here in this land outside of the Black, Hispanic, and Native American? Now keep reading.
And no man shall save thee.
He said, no man shall save you. Right? That's why all these Martin Luther Kings, from Cesar Chavez, and all these people kids take us out to situations that we're in today. Right? That's why our babies are in cages out the border right now. That's why our babies are in CPS custody today. We're gonna keep reading them. Right? Go to 31.
Verse 31. Thine ox shall be slain before thine eyes, and thou shalt not eat thereof. Thine ass shall be violently taken away from before thy face, and shall not be restored to thee.
So when the white man came over here, they slaughtered thousands and hundreds of thousands of buffaloes. You can see pictures today of them standing on mountain of a buffalo skull heads, right? Just to starve out the Native Americans, man. They did that as an act of war. They also did that to the Inca brothers down in Peru. They slaughtered their llamas just to starve them out, right? So these are all curses, right? To identify who the Israelites are. Now keep going, keep going. 32.
32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
That happened in slavery, man.
That's right.
Right? They sold our babies right? And sent our babies to other Spanish colonies. They sold your babies in the ancient day, in those times. It took them to other plantations, to breeding farms, and to like cattle, man, right? Now go. Now read that again.
Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
We don't gotta go that far back. This happening today at the border right now, man.
That's right.
I remember just a couple months ago, I read a story of a Salvadorian lady. They took her daughter and gave her baby to a white family. She appealed to the superior courts, all the way to the Supreme Courts, and they found that it was justified. And they took her baby and gave it to a white family. The white man's a goddamn devil, man.
That's right. Verse 32. And thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long.
And that woman was crying, man, on live TV, with longing in her eyes, man, with no might in her hands, right? When they kept snatch our babies and take them to CPS custody, we have no might in our hands, man. Read.
And there shall be no might in thine hand.
Now give me 36.
Verse 36. The Lord shall bring thee and thy king, which thou shalt set over thee, unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known.
So when the Spanish man came over here to the Puerto Rico, to modern day Puerto Rico, they snatched up their king, which is called the cacique, and took him back to Spain, man. Right? Can you read that again?
The Lord shall bring thee and thy king, which thou shalt set over thee, unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known. And there thou shalt serve other gods.
And there, once you get there, you're going to serve other gods, what?
Wood and stone.
That wood is signifying, it means something. What does the Christian church put out there as their symbol?
Bro.
The cross, made out of wood, right? The Catholic Church does that too. And the stone, the Muslims.
Yeah.
They circle a stone in Mecca, right? And they kiss that stone. That's talking about other gods, right?
The idol God, yeah.
That's what it's talking about. Now keep reading. 30, where you at?
36.
And 37?
37. And thou shalt become an astonishment, and a proverb, and a byword.
He said you're going to be an astonishment, and a proverb, and a byword. Read.
Among all nations.
Above all nations. I'm talking about nations that never came here to America, but they got bywords and proverbs for us, right? I'm talking about anything from niggas, spick, wetback, all that, man. I'm talking about all these heathens call us that.
That's right.
Right? We got Koreans doing blackface all the way in North Korea. Probably never seen a black man in their life. But guess what? They got their own word for nigga over there.
That's right.
Right? They got their own Korean word for that over there.
Yeah.
That means that
I was in Thailand. I heard it before.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
So all these nations got a byword and proverb. But this all happened because of rebellion, man. You see what's in verse 15. Now go to, what was that, 37, 39?
Verse 39. Thou shalt plant vineyards, and dress them.
He said you're gonna plant vineyards and dress them. Who's doing that today in Central California? Right? The Hispanics, right?
Right.
But do they keep reading?
Thou shalt plant vineyards and dress them, but shall neither drink of the wine.
But who drinks that wine? Who's living fat off those vineyards, man? The white man, right. not the ones that are planting them. Right. Reading?
Nor gather the grapes, for the worm shall eat them.
And so, when the Spaniards came over here, and when they besieged the Aztecs, all these cornfields and all their vineyards were rotting due to the besieging of the Spanish man, right? Now give me the next verse. What was that? Read here.
40 or 41?
Give me 41.
41. Thou shalt beget sons and daughters.
He said you're gonna beget sons and daughters. Read.
But thou shalt not enjoy them. For they shall go into captivity.
And they shall go into captivity. Again, that's happening at the border. We don't gotta go far back. Right. That's happening today, when our children get ripped from mother's arms or from father's arms and get put in CPS custody for some bullshit, man.
That's right.
Is that it?
Okay.
Give me 43 and 44.
Verse 43 through 44. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high.
The white man's a stranger to this goddamn man, man.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Read that again from the top.
the stranger that is within thee shall get above thee very high.
The stranger that's within us is going to be above us very high. Read.
And thou shalt come down very low.
And we're going to be very low. Read.
He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him.
He said you shall be lended to, but you will not lend to them. Who do you go to get loans from? If you have to go to a loan or get a loan, you will have to go to what firm?
White man.
The white man, right?
That's right.
We don't lend to them, but we will lend. They will lend to us, right? Did you know all these banks had their money in slavery?
That's right.
I'm talking about from Bank of America to Western Union to Wells Fargo to Chase. All these, even insurance companies. It all goes back to slavery, man, for insuring our backs, like river luggage, right?
Right.
Now keep reading.
He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail.
And it's saying, breaking these laws, we shall be the tail, man, and they're going to be the head. Keep reading.
Verse 45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee.
Now this is key right here, OG. Read.
And shall pursue thee.
These curses shall come upon you and pursue thee. That means wherever you go. Read.
And overtake thee.
And overtake thee.
Till thou be destroyed. Because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God. To keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee.
Now give me 48.
Verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck, until he have destroyed thee.
We still have pictures today of our ancestors with yokes of irons around our necks, man. Right. Now keep reading and give me 49 and 50.
Verse 49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the earth, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth.
Now this is funny, right? Because the white man, what is their symbol? I gotta call it, right? The eagle. And this is going back all the way from Britain, from Spain, right? Not just America. Look, not just America. I'm talking about Britain, Spain. The Russian flag today? That was the royal Russian flag back when the Tsars were ruling. It's just minus the eagle, right? So these Europeans has always had their eagle as a symbol. Now read that again.
The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth.
As swift as the eagle flieth. Read.
A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
Read.
A nation of fierce countenance.
No, a nation of fierce countenance. Read.
Which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young.
Oh gee, did they regard or show favor to the old or young when they came and encountered us? Huh? They didn't show no favor or no regard to them, man. Right?
Yeah.
Read.
Verse 50. Verse 51. And he shall eat of the fruit of thy cattle and the fruit of thy land until thou be destroyed. Which also shall not leave thee either corn, wine, or oil, or increase of thine kind, or flocks of thy sheep until he have destroyed thee.
Give me 52.
Verse 52. And he shall besiege thee in all thy gates.
And he said he's going to besiege us through all our gates, right? Read.
Until thy high and fenced walls come down.
So when the Spanish man came and besieged us in Mesoamerica, we had beautiful walled cities. All them pyramids from Tenochtitlan all the way to all the way down to Peru. Now give me someone give her some change, huh? Now give her give me verse 54.
Verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate.
Watch this, 54. This is key right here. Read.
His eyes shall be evil toward his brother.
His eyes shall be evil towards his brother. Read.
And toward the wife of his bosom.
That's 2.
and toward the remnant of his children,
That's three. This is an interesting verse. This is three curses in one verse.
which he shall leave.
This is how we know this is not talking about the white Jewish rat.
That's right.
Because it's saying, read that again.
Verse 54 from the top. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil toward his brother.
His eyes shall be evil towards his brother. That's black on black violence.
Yeah.
That's brown on brown violence. That's brown on black violence.
That's right.
That's right.
That's gangbanging.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
What it is.
Right? Read.
And toward the wife of his bosom,
And toward the wife of his bosom, that's domestic violence. Read.
and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave.
And that's fatherless homes.
That's right.
That's right.
That's how we know this is not talking about the Jewish rat, the
That's
damn
right.
rats with stupid damn braids coming out the side of the head.
That's right.
It's talking to black, Hispanic, and Native American man.
That's right.
That's right. Verse 55.
Uh-huh.
So that he will not give to any of them of the flesh of his children whom he shall eat.
What was that, 54?
Oh, that was 55. Slot.
Give me 50, give me
56.
56.
Verse 56.
Uh-huh.
The tender and delicate woman among you,
Let me say, the tender and delicate women among you. See, our women, we care for our women, man, right? We viewed our women as so tender and delicate. We didn't even want them to set their foot on the floor at one point, man. Right?
Right.
See, the whole thing today is there's a lot of finger pointing at each other, right?
Right.
Man and women, right?
Right.
But we need to start pointing the finger at exactly where it needs to be pointed. The damn white man.
That's
right.
And the damn heathens, man. Because they taught us to hate each other.
That's
They
right.
taught us to hate our women. They taught our women to hate their man.
That's
They
right.
taught us to hate each other.
That's right.
Right?
Verse 56. The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground,
Uh-huh.
for delicateness and tenderness,
Uh-huh.
her eyes shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom.
And we see that a lot, right? And that's what we got to do. We got to heal ourselves, right? We got to stop pointing fingers at each other and saying that our woman is so rotten and dirty. But we got to start healing each other.
That's right.
Because the white man taught us to hate each other. Read.
And toward her son, and toward her daughter, and toward her young one that cometh out from between her feet, and toward her children, which she shall bear. For she shall eat them, for she shall eat them for want of all things, secretly in the siege and straitness.
Wherewith 64.
64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone.
So that we know we had got scattered throughout during the time of slavery to all these other British colonies, to French colonies and all that, right? Like give me verse, give me the nail in the coffin. Give me 68.
Verse 68.
Give me the picture.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
So do you remember in the ancient times in the book, it's saying that Egypt, in the ancient time, they just walked out of Egypt and went into Israel, right? So that's walking distance. But look what it says again, though. Read.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
He say, the Lord shall bring you into Egypt again with ships. Read.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
And then this Egypt, because the ancient Egypt, God told the children of Israel, you'll never see ancient Egypt again. So this is talking about another Egypt, right? Because he said you will never see the ancient Egypt again. Read.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
So no man shall buy you, right? That in the ancient Hebrew, is saying no man shall be redeemed, right? That's why in this situation, no one has redeemed us, man. Why? Because the Lord didn't send them, right?
That's right.
Now give me that.
Revelations 11:8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually,
So this new place is not the ancient Egypt, but spiritually, read.
is called Sodom and Egypt.
So this is another type of Egypt. This is not the ancient Egypt. Let's talk about another place which is spiritually called Egypt. You got that dollar?
Oh yeah,
Show me that
got it right now.
Why do you think America got that right there?
Pyramid. Eagle. What's that? That's
showing
that
the
statue
wrong
right there.
side. Yeah, pyramid.
Pyramid, yeah.
They know who they got here.
Yeah.
They know who they had here in captivity. They know that the children of Israel are here in captivity in America, man. Right? So, give me that.
Exodus 20:2.
That's right.
I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
Out of the house of bondage. So Egypt is synonymous with bondage, right? So this is not talking about the ancient Egypt. This is talking about another place which is called spiritual Egypt.
That's right.
Because the ancient Egypt, we didn't need ships to leave or to go back into Egypt or none of that. So this is talking about America, man.
That's right.
So knowing how your ancestors came here on ships, in chains, and it's prophesied that the children of Israel will go into another place called spiritual Egypt. And we know that the white crackers in Israel, they didn't have to go through that.
That's right.
So who are the Israelites today?
That's right.
All right.
Who are the Israelites today?
It wasn't the Exodus. No, I hear you. It's who?
We just made a case, right?
Right. You
Who
did.
are the Israelites today?
People who went bondage.
That's right.
Which are the who? The Black, Hispanic,
Black,
and Native
Spanish, and
American.
Native American.
Right.
Give me Deuteronomy 10 and 12.
All praise.
Ecclesiastes 12 and 13.
Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 12. And now, Israel, what doth the Lord thy God require of thee?
So now that you know you're an Israelite, what does the Lord require of you? Read.
Follow his commandments.
But that's right. Read out.
Read.
Come. Slug. But Israel, what doth the Lord thy God require of thee? But to fear the Lord thy God,
You got to fear the Lord thy God. Read.
to walk in all his ways,
Read.
and to love him, and to serve the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul.
Serve the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul. Read.
To keep the commandments of the Lord,
To keep the commandments of God. His real name is Yahweh in the Hebrew. Read.
That's right.
and his statutes, which I command thee this day for thy good.
So these commandments are for our good. Give me that. Ecclesiastes 12 and 13.
Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter.
Let's hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Read.
Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man.
That's
right.
the whole duty of us
Yeah.
as Israelites, his chosen people.
That's right.
Because God only loves us and us only.
That's right.
Right?
But he's a forgiving God. And he said, we are. He know we are man and we are prone to make mistakes. We are made in his image, but we're not him.
Look,
So you're gonna make mistakes, but you know, you gotta ask for forgiveness. That's it.
that's absolutely. But look, listen. First and foremost, what is repentance?
With my repentance,
When you repent.
when we repent from sin.
What is repent? Because in the English, there's not too much there, right?
Right.
In the Hebrew, that means to turn away from,
Right.
to unlearn, to turn away from all that, right?
Right.
So you got to really repent.
Right.
Come back to the law, statutes, commandments of the Lord, right? Keep these law, statutes, and commandments, and keep faith in the man whom the enemy called Christ.
That's right.
His real name
That's right.
is Yahweh Shai. He's his King and Savior of Israel and Israel alone.
That's right.
That's who he came to die for. That's who he loves, and that's who he's coming back to save. Thus says the Lord.
That's right.
Right?
But he knows you're gonna make mistakes as long as you come back and repent.
Well, the Bible says that, right?
Yes.
Give me
Galatians.
seven times.
Turn up to 7 times.
Praise.
I got it. Proverbs 24 and 16. For a just man falleth 7 times.
Yeah, so you might make mistakes, right? That's small mistakes, OG.
Right.
Right?
Right.
That's like if you might eat something, not know something that pork was there.
Right.
Small stuff, man. Right, read?
And riseth up again.
Read?
But the wicked shall fall into mischief.
Uh-huh.
Kind.
That's it.
Yeah.
What you got?
Yeah.
428. Read.
Baruch 4:28.
Baruch 4:28.
That's
Read.
right.
For as it was your mind to go astray from God,
So it was our mind to go astray in our ancient times, right? Read.
so being returned, seek him 10 times more.
So all this time that you didn't know that you were an Israelite and you were eating pork and you were probably being an adulterer or whatever, you got to seek the Lord now 10 times more, man.
Kind.
Because you lived all this whole time in sin and you didn't know none of that, man. Now you know you're an Israelite. Now you know you got to keep God's laws.
That's right.
You got to seek them 10 times more, man.
Yeah.
Right? That's what we're out here for. Man.
That's right.
Good knowledge.
All praise.
I'm glad I listened.
All
Stop by
praises to
there.
the Most High.
It was very enlightening, you guys.
All praises,
Very
man.
enlightening.
And it's not us, it's all the Most High God, man.
That's right.
We're not out here seeking praise from no man. We do this because we love our people,
Yeah.
man.
That's right.
We're tired of this captivity,
That's
man.
right. That's
right.
We're tired of turning on the TV and seeing our young men getting killed by these devils, man.
That's right.
Right? We're tired of seeing our babies raised from in the system, and we're tired of that, man. Right? We got to and see, in the Christian church, they teach us that salvation is something very mythical, and you're going to be floating in the sky. Salvation is something very practical, right? The Bible is very practical. Give me that, Luke 1. Salvation is very practical. Salvation is it's actually very powerful, right?
That's right.
Luke 1:68. Blessed be the Lord God of Israel,
Blessed be the Lord God of Israel. Read.
for he hath visited and redeemed his people,
That he has visited and redeemed his people. Read.
and hath raised up a horn of salvation for us in the house of his servant David,
Read.
as he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets,
So this salvation was spoke about from the ancient times. Read.
which have been since the world began,
Uh-huh.
that we should be saved from our enemies,
To be saved from our enemies. Read.
and from the hand of all that hate us,
And it should be what?
and from the hand of all that hate us.
So that's
right,
what
kind.
salvation is. To be snatched from the grips of this heathen, man. That's what salvation is, OG.
That is.
Right? And all it is that we're waiting for our people to fall in line, man. Right? That's all we're waiting. The Lord is waiting on us. That's what it is. Right? So, you got any other questions? We got plenty of videos, right? You can look us up. We got YouTube. You got a flyer?
No, he
Someone give him a
Hey,
flyer.
Yeah. Because I was finna ask you about that. Because I'm like I'm trying to say, I'm 73 years old. You know, I've been in this world a couple of days,
That's right.
and I'm still here.
Yeah. All praise.
And praise the Lord. I raised 4 daughters, got about 15 grandkids, about 25 great grandkids. I did this. My wife passed away when I was 31 years old, and I raised all of them myself. And,
That's powerful.
Yeah, and that's what right there. What I'm trying to say. And I have also mentored. Woo! Oh, bunch of black brothers. If you hear my name, name is Al Hicks. If you might hear the name, hear that name right there, and they'll tell you. I always had something to tell them.
That's right.
And y'all had something to tell me. Thank you.
Hey, you got the joint flyers? Because that got our phone numbers
Thank you.
on there.
Yeah, okay.
And it's the Judah flyers got our phone
I get
numbers.
it.
Oh, shit.
Is that what?
Yeah, got him.
Con.
Yeah.
So that's our phone numbers right there. That's my phone number. That's the officer's phone number.
Right.
If you got any questions on the videos, you can put them,
Very nice.
on there.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I feel all you guys, man. I ain't lying. I was here. I felt y'all. Y'all got me in spirit.
All praise.
That's
right.
Yeah, y'all did. You got me in spirit.
Allah, y'all about Shimmy outside.
Right.
All praises, man.
And with that, I give all praises to the Most High. Shalom.
Shalom.